Today we're exploring a corner of my hometown, Clifton, a neighbourhood in central Bristol that's home to world-famous landmarks, beautiful architecture and a plethora of independent shops and places to eat. Growing up on the other side of Bristol in Kingswood, visiting Clifton always felt like stepping into another world. Where Kingswood was a tired-looking but bustling working-class neighbourhood, Clifton was the epitome of elegance and excitement. The grand Georgian houses, picture-perfect streets and the breathtaking views over the Avon Gorge make it a place you'll want to return to again and again. Coming up, we take a stroll around Clifton Village and visit some of Clifton's most famous and lesser-known landmarks. Subscribe to Nicola Explores for more adventures around the UK and beyond. Let's start with the obvious. You can't visit Clifton without seeing the iconic Clifton Suspension Bridge. Designed by Isambard Kingdom Brunel, it's a masterpiece of engineering and one of Bristol's most famous landmarks. From Kingswood, it always felt like an adventure to head over to this side of the city to see the bridge. Walk across to take in the views of the Avon Gorge. At certain times of the year, you can visit one of the bridge's best-kept secrets by descending into one of the recently rediscovered long-lost vaulted chambers. The chambers support the bridge's towers, and if you'd like to find out more about the vaults, I'll add a link to this episode in the video description. Nearby, you can visit Clifton Observatory. It's a great place to relax or enjoy a picnic with wonderful views. For more adventures underground, step inside the Giant's Cave. Hard hats are optional because you have to duck. I'm quite short, so I'm just going to go for it. The cave is an atmospheric spot that's steeped in local legend and history. A short, steep descent through a man-made tunnel takes you deep into the Avon Gorge and out onto a ledge with a dramatic view of the gorge and the Clifton Suspension Bridge. It's said to be linked to the legend of Gorham and Geeston, two giants from Bristol folklore. Remember to wear sturdy shoes for the uneven surfaces and don't forget your camera. The views are spectacular. From the observatory, take a short stroll into Clifton Village. It's the perfect place to wander with its Georgian architecture, boutique shops and cosy cafes. Growing up in Kingswood, the idea of popping into a boutique for handmade chocolates or artisan gifts was completely alien, but now I love treating myself when I'm here. Don't miss the Clifton Arcade for quirky finds. We visited Bees and Graves Jewellery, an independent business that has been running for over 25 years. Thank you. The beauty of Clifton is that you can have a lovely time strolling around the residential area and admiring the streets upon streets of handsome buildings. One popular spot for photo opportunities is Royal York Crescent. This iconic row of Grade 2 listed Georgian townhouses is one of the longest crescents in Europe, and its grand architecture is a testament to Clifton's elegant history. The crescent also offers incredible views, making it a perfect spot to pause and soak in the scenery.
People like to pose here for an iconic photograph.
The red postbox adds a splash of colour to the picturesque setting. There's a thriving coffee culture in Clifton, alongside a wonderful choice of food stores with lovely shop fronts full of fresh produce. If you're hungry, you're spoilt for choice in Clifton. It is full of fantastic options with many independent places to eat and drink. I'll share a couple now, but you can't go wrong simply by walking through the village and popping into one of the many cafes and restaurants. Primrose Cafe at the edge of Clifton Arcade is a firm favourite with locals. Chandos Deli is another popular spot, and they do a mean brownie. For a pub lunch, the White Lion at the Avon Gorge Hotel offers an incredible view of Clifton Suspension Bridge. If you love Bristol and want to bring a piece of Bristol home with you, check out the Bristol Shop. It's my online store celebrating all things Bristol, featuring a range of locally inspired gifts and art prints. By shopping with us, you'll also support local artists and businesses who help keep Bristol's creative spirit alive. I'll add a link to the episode description. Tucked away near Clifton Village, Lime Walk is a serene, tree-lined pathway steeped in history and charm. The pathway is often incorrectly called Birdcage Walk due to the arching canopy of trees. The true Birdcage Walk is a short walk away in Victoria Square. This is the real Birdcage Walk in the middle of Victoria Square. The original Birdcage Walk is another one of Clifton's beautiful corners. Back to Lime Walk. Many Bristolians are unaware of this historic walkway, but its atmospheric beauty and the way light filters through the trees makes it worth a visit. Tucked behind the trees are hundreds of gravestones and memorials, each one painting a fascinating picture of those who lived in the area during the 1800s.
Look at these fungi.
That's a big one.
There's more over here.
This area would have looked completely different before World War II, when this site was home to St Andrew's Church. It was almost completely destroyed by bombs on Sunday the 24th of November 1940. Now all that remains are the foundations and the nearby graveyard. If you're interested in World War II history or would like to step inside Bristol's recently rediscovered air raid shelter, I'd highly recommend this guided walking tour, which I've covered in this episode. I'll add a link to the episode description.
Turn out those lights!
While much of Clifton's heritage has been preserved, one neglected and disused area is the Clifton Rocks Railway. Built into the cliffs of the Avon Gorge, this historic funicular railway once connected Clifton with Hotwells below. Opened in 1893, it was an engineering marvel of its time, carrying passengers up and down the steep gorge. The railway closed during the 1930s, and it's now in a shockingly sad state of disrepair, despite being just a stone's throw away from the city's most famous landmark. I hope that it is given a new lease of life at some point.
Clifton feels like a world away from where I grew up in Kingswood, but it's a part of Bristol that I love visiting. Its mix of history, beauty and vibrant atmosphere makes it one of my favourite places to explore. Although it's not perfect, I think it's a shining example of how great England can be if business owners take pride in their offerings by focusing on local produce and we look after our rich heritage.
Thank you so much for watching. Next time we explore Bristol Harbour. Please do hit the subscribe button to support my channel and let me know in the comments below whether you would like me to explore more areas of Bristol. I can show you pretty or gritty. You decide. Until next time, happy exploring!